I need water. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is just gonna be a little story time video. I figured I would talk about something that I haven't really gone into much detail about before, but it is an important part of my weight loss journey, and so I thought I would dive right in. But if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and let's get started. So today I'm just talking about how I was able to quit my full-time job that I was pretty much trapped in, I felt, and that was because of losing 70 pounds. It was life-changing for me to lose weight. Actually, at that point, it wasn't 70 pounds, it was just losing weight in general, but the confidence that I got from losing weight allowed me to quit the job that I thought I would be at pretty much forever. So I just want to give a little background. I graduated college in 2016, and I had played volleyball from middle school throughout college and was always really active because of that. So I'd always struggled with my weight, but I was always able to kind of stay in better shape than I would have if I didn't stay so active. So after I graduated college, it really hit me because I was not nearly as active as I had been, and my eating habits just kind of went crazy. And so when I came home from school and I started working, I was working full-time at Potbelly Sandwiches. I was an assistant manager there, so I was working 50 hours a week. And that was also when I decided to start my cookie business. So that was all just kind of like a crazy out of the blue thing. I saw royal icing decorated sugar cookies on Pinterest, and I decided to just make some Cubs cookies for fun. And I posted them on Facebook, and they got a lot of interaction with just like my friends and family. And then people started asking if they could order them as I started doing more and more just for fun. That ended up becoming a full business for me, and that's where my cookie business started. And so while I was working at Potbelly was also while I started doing the cookies, and that was just out of my mom's house, out of her kitchen. And that was when I was still living there. Actually, Adam was living there as well, and we were just both trying to work and save up to get our own place. So after a while of that, I had someone that I worked with that actually told me about a bakery that was hiring. And so it was just a bakery in a farm market, and they told me that they were looking for people. So I thought it would be interesting, and maybe I could do that instead of Potbelly. I was actually currently training to be a general manager at Potbelly, but I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to get stuck doing something like that. It was really a big commitment and took a lot. And so I kind of wanted to be done with that as well. So I was excited about getting a job at a bakery. I started working there, and that was when I was working 3 jobs. So I was still at Potbelly as a manager. I started working at the farmer's market bakery, and then I was still doing my cookies on the side. And it would pretty much be, it would start out, I would work the morning at the bakery, and then I would pretty much leave there, go straight to Potbelly, work a night shift at Potbelly, come home, work on cookies, and then do it again. And it was a lot, but it was just like a transition period. I thought it would pretty much be short term. It ended up being longer than I wanted it to be, but at one point I was finally able to be done at Potbelly and then just do the bakery and then my cookie business full time. And that was because I was being brought on at the bakery full time, so I was gonna still be working 50 hours a week there, and then I was gonna continue doing my cookie stuff at home. And at that point, Adam and I had bought our first house. We pretty much saved up a lot of money from working when both of us were working during then, and then we used any wedding fund we had and we just put it into a house instead of getting married right away. So we got our house, and then that is really when my health started to slip. That's when I was eating tons of fast food, just eating really unhealthy meals and eating a lot in a day. And so I wasn't taking care of my body, and I was also working so much. I was not getting enough sleep, and it was really catching up to me. It started to get to the point where I would only get like 1 to 2 hours of sleep in a night. There were some nights where I would get to lay down for like 30 minutes because it was just such a packed schedule. And the reason it was is because I could not say no to cookie orders. I was so scared to say no to customers. I didn't want to make anyone mad. And so I would take as many orders as I possibly could. And it was so time consuming. I want to say I was probably working 80 hours a week at least doing cookies, and then doing 50 hours at the bakery. And honestly, I feel like embarrassed talking about it now, and I feel embarrassed thinking about like what I was putting myself through because it was so unnecessary. But I just felt so stuck, and I felt like I had to say yes to everyone in that moment, and I just didn't care about myself, and it really got me stuck in a bad position. And that was really hard on me. That was like my lowest point, I would say. That was also when I started drinking a lot more, and that was also just like harming me even more when I was not getting any sleep. I think back to it and I really don't know how I was able to function the way I was, but I was still working and doing my cookies, and that lasted for a couple years. Like that went on for a decent amount of time, and like I said, that was really when the weight caught up to me, and that was when I pretty much had hit my breaking point. It was April 28th of 2020. That was when I saw the quote that said, if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. And it stuck with me. It scared me so much. And the next day was when I decided to start WW. So at that point, when I had started WW, I was still working at the bakery. I was still working, I want to say at that point I had asked to do less. So I think then it was like about 30 to 40 hours a week. And I was able to cut back. I was able to leave earlier when I got my work done and take like days off if I needed to, but it was still a lot. I think I took one less day at that point. So I was still doing that, and then I was still coming home and doing cookies. And that was also the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to start reevaluating how many orders we take because it was insane what we were doing. I started WW, and the first month I had a good amount of success, and I had never like successfully lost weight in my life really before. I had never really gotten to the point where I gained so much that I needed to lose a significant amount, but I had always tried to lose weight and just never ever had success ever. Like I never stuck with it long enough to even see like a few pounds come off. And so within the first month I was able to lose a decent amount, and it really motivated me, and honestly just like shocked me. Like I never thought it was something that I was going to be able to do. And I can't explain the boost of confidence that I got from that, because my entire life, I just always thought that that was like the one thing that I couldn't do, that I would just fail at, was just taking care of myself, honestly, and nourishing my body and losing weight and staying active and just like everything like that. I just thought I couldn't ever stick to, and I felt like I had failed every time. And everything else I was able to do. I was able to do well in school. I was able to do well at work, like all the stuff like that. But like for some reason I could not lose weight, and I could not like do a good job at taking care of myself. And I felt so much like shame because of that. And I really did struggle with my confidence because of that and my self-esteem. When I was able to lose weight in a month, like I was able to with Weight Watchers, it was just so shocking to me, and it made me feel so good and so motivated. And I used that to continue going. Then the next month I had another successful month. I was still working at the full-time job at that point and doing cookies, and I was still tracking with Weight Watchers. At that point too, I had kept it a secret from everyone else because I didn't want anyone to know, but I was losing weight and I was still working both jobs. So then it was about 3 months into tracking with Weight Watchers. I'd lost about like 30 to 40 pounds at that point, and I was feeling so confident. I just felt like I had finally turned my life around, and I was making a change, and I was realizing that I deserved to take care of myself. I deserved to do what I wanted to do, and it just felt really good. And so that was the point where I decided, okay, I need to really cut back my hours here and maybe even be done working here if possible. And that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. It was terrifying. I, like I said, have struggled so much to say no to people. I say yes to everything. It's always been one of my like weaknesses and something that I need to work on. And having to quit a job is terrifying alone, but like I just thought that I was gonna work here forever because I wasn't gonna be able to quit, and I didn't want to tell my boss that I had to stop working there, no matter what it meant. I was terrified that day, but I went into her office, I talked to her and pretty much explained what was going on, and that it was just too much. I was passionate about my cookie business. It was really successful at that point, and enough that I could go full time with it, and I could have gone full time with it way further back, but I just felt so stuck at this job. I was able to quit the job at that point, and I never thought, like to this day, like even Adam and Trevor, they get so mad at me because like I used to say all the time, like I'm never gonna quit. I'm gonna be working there forever. Like I just did not think it was possible for me to quit this job. I don't even know how to explain it. It sounds ridiculous, but I thought I was gonna be there forever. forever. Somehow getting the confidence from losing weight and from successfully putting myself first and taking care of my health and wellness gave me the confidence to be able to quit the job, to be able to take on my cookie business full-time at home. But it also gave me confidence to be able to say no to orders, because I would have people really pressure me and really make me feel bad if I said no to a cookie order. And when it really comes down to it, I'm sorry, but my health really is more important than one cookie order. And I really do my best to try to take as many orders as I can and to do what I can with the business, because I love doing it and I love seeing people happy and I love making them happy with the orders. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, it is important that I take care of myself and my time management, my priorities. And there has to be a place where I draw the line and find out what works best for me with my life. It got to the point too where I had enough confidence to kind of start saying no to orders and figuring all that out. And finally, my life was under control, and it just felt like something I just never thought I would feel. I thought I would be there forever, but it just really helped me to see that I did not value myself. I didn't value my time and my health or anything like that. I put everybody else before me, but that's just not healthy. I wasn't able to be the best version of myself. I was honestly dying, and it was days in a row of me crying all the time. I can't even explain the feeling of how stuck I felt, and I would just cry because I didn't even know what to do, but I didn't even have time to cry half the time because I had to go to the next thing and start working on the next thing. So like at times I just didn't even have time to focus on it, but because of it, again, I wasn't getting sunlight. I wasn't getting activity. I was depressed because of the fact that I was stuck inside working while I couldn't get sunlight, because I also worked every weekend, and it was like all weekend, which was crazy busy. This was a place that was actually so crazy over certain holidays and stuff. And so it wasn't just an easy bakery job either. It was a very, very stressful and taxing job there. And then to come home and have a stressful job here, because running a business and a cookie business is still really stressful too. And so it was just so much on me, and I was just deteriorating. And I was 25 years old, 24 years old. I was either 24 or 25 when I decided to start, and I was just so sad about like the state I was in, and I just felt like that was going to be the rest of my life. But honestly, I was so scared my life was going to be cut short because of my health, because of the path I was taking and how unhealthy I really was. And when I say unhealthy, I mean all around. I was overweight. I was so sleep deprived. I was underactive. I didn't get enough fresh air and light. Like I said, it was so many things that were making me unhealthy. So finally realizing that I deserve to take care of myself, finally learning how to take care of myself and implementing those things and learning how to stay consistent with those things gave me the confidence to quit my job, take on my other job full time, and do the things that I want to do. And now it's even gone further to the point where I made a YouTube channel. I share my whole life with everyone, which I dreamt about my whole like high school and middle school, childhood, whatever. That was a dream of mine to do. Never in a million years did I think that I would actually pursue it and actually do it. Like, it was just something in my head. And now here I am talking to everyone, and it's just insane. But it's because I had this new confidence, because I realized that anything really is possible, and that I was able to do something I never thought I could. And now I've been able to release my cookbook and just do all these things that have been a dream of mine. And if I was still at that job, if I was still in that position, there's no way I would ever be able to do this. So I just wanted to kind of go over my story. I feel like I haven't really gone over that much in detail about all of that. And so I just wanted to kind of explain that and how much it did help me to realize my self-worth and realize how much I deserve to take care of myself. And that allowed me to turn my life around. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.